Welcome to another Pinche podcast.
Welcome back to another Pinche podcast. And today's guest, Candy and Chrome. Candy,
Hi.
how you doing? You've been on here before with another Pinche podcast with me. And obviously, I missed Vegas. And so I've been, I'm trying to bring people on to tell me about Vegas. How was it for you? What was going on? Tell us about yourself first. And so the people that haven't seen you before, and then go from there.
I am CandyNChrome. I would consider myself an ambassador of the lowriding community. So I do a lot of different things, a lot of different faces, a lot of different hats. And it was, I've done Vegas many, many years in a row now. It's always an experience, but I found this one a little more exhausting than most. So ran around, was able to time block out my time, and meet a lots of amazing people, see people that I haven't seen in a long time, and yeah, it was a good weekend. But I'm barely, what is it, Wednesday, Thursday, and I'm still barely recuperating. Like I can't even bring myself to put makeup on my face.
I know. I mean, Vegas like I was out there last year, and it's funny. It's just because I've been touching base with people that went, and a lot of people are like, I only did this, I only did that, and I'm like, damn, like I did everything I could that weekend, and I know it's a lot. It's a lot to do. You're being a guest at a booth, or you're there helping with branding, and then also you're at the hops and everything like that. So, how did that go for you? When did you get to Vegas, and just kind of getting ready for the whole show and everything? I know you have also a magazine cover that you were promoting out there too.
Oh yeah, thank you for reminding me. Because that was kind of thrown in like towards the last minute, and I'm very, very blessed that that was released at that time.
Mm,
And I will be doing. I saved some of those posters for y'all. So let me back up.
mm.
Um, I got to Vegas on not by choice on Wednesday night.
Oh wow.
And to me, that's just too many days in Vegas, especially because I have to be back there this upcoming Monday for SEMA. So it was just like, okay, I'm going to be here Wednesday to Monday, and then I'm going to be
Mm.
here Monday to Friday the following week. So
Wow.
I got out there, and to be honest, I'm not a Vegas girl. I don't drink. I've been sober for it'll be 10 months, November 11th. And I have a really hard time just being extroverted now because
Yeah.
I just don't drink anymore. And everybody, Vegas is lights and glitz and glam, and everybody wants to go out, etc. So after the first day and waking up the next day and going down to the lobby to get coffee and had, 4 selfies and 7 hugs, I decided not to leave the room. Mostly just because I was super tired and I wanted to make sure I was 100% on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, because we had so much to do. Um, Friday, Thursday was moving, so I was
Mm,
able to see a little bit of that. And then Friday, I went out there and kind of got to see everything set up, got my passes, figured
mm.
out what we were doing. I was there with Hopaholics, and we were hosting a hop exhibition. That's the word I keep messing up. Exhibition. And then we did that at the end of the show, which I was actually expecting to do that like midday during the show.
Mm.
So Friday we had to get set up for all that. And then I really just took it easy. I had, my little face mask on and my eye mask, and went to bed by a decent time and woke up looking decent for Saturday morning.
Yeah.
So I was in the my plan was to kind of time block it out because I have a really hard time maximizing the show. There's
Mm.
so much to see, and there's so much still that people are like, did you see this car? Did you see that car? I
Yeah.
can't thoroughly enjoy the show unless like to walk through it unless it's at a move-in or before the event, etc. I did get there at 8 a.m., but I was there, like I was busy the whole entire time. Like it was
Yeah.
not like uh I'm able to like actually stand there and enjoy looking at a 57 rag. Like I have to, look at it, glance, move on to the next. So when the show opened, I was able to move and groove a little bit, get some interview content with Gearhead Events. So that was pretty cool. And then at 12 o'clock, I did time block myself out so everybody could find me. I was in the Hopaholics booth doing poster signings.
Yeah.
And that kind of leads me into Impala's magazine
Mhm.
finally has a hard copy magazine
Yeah.
published, and the pre-orders are open. And Mark was generous enough to bring me a bunch of 18 by 24 posters,
Mm.
and I was offering them pretty much to everybody, and they're almost all gone. I saved some. I may have put some aside because I know a lot of you guys online were like, where can I get one? Where can I get one? And I
Yeah.
just haven't had the time. I should actually do that in the next 24 hours. Sit
When
down
when you
and
find time.
offer them to y'all.
Yeah, when you find
So,
time.
yeah, that's the thing. Because I mean, it is Thursday now, and I got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then I'm back in Vegas again.
Yeah.
So, I was able to do a poster signing from 12 to 5. Thank you, everybody that came by and showed their love. That was amazing. Like, honestly, I was so busy all day. I sold out of absolutely everything I had on the
Mm.
table except for a couple. And I just feel really blessed because of that. Right at 5:30, I went and got some shots. I only was able to get a few photos
Yeah.
throughout the show. Between 5:30 and 6, I went and got some shots with some of my favorite photographers that were around. And at 6 o'clock, I had to be at the Hop
Well,
outside in the Bronze parking lot. And as you guys know, if you don't know, Frank's Super Hop starts at 7 p.m., which is
yeah.
at a completely different venue. And for me, for me, I can't just get leave one event, especially being there, from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. without showering and changing and then going to the next event. So I left the hop, our hop at 7 o'clock,
Mhm.
ran over and had a shower and went straight to Frank's. So the hop was great at the end of the show. My only feedback is I really wish they would have let us done it earlier because
Yeah.
obviously at that point it's already awards. A lot of people already left.
Yeah.
I was really grateful to be able to hand out some shirts. I was supposed to be on the mic, but Miklo stole my mic because I didn't show up till like 10 minutes after 6. So
Oh,
Miklo stole my mic. So I was out handing out shirts and doing some pictures, etc. But our hop was really good. It was really fun. And then there was Frank's.
well, before we get into Frank's, okay, because that I really want to hear about Frank's, and
um,
I want to bring it back. So in Paula's magazine, the cover, the car that you are on there with, just so happened to become the overall winner of the show, right?
Yeah, best in show. I don't follow the political aspect of it
Uh-huh.
and the point system. But I do know that they walked out with a very, very big show trophy. I think it was best in show.
Yeah.
And it was really nice because that car has been well overdue for an award of that caliber. I know that they've been competing for years to be there, not years, but like I think that car has been out for like 3, 4, or 5 years.
Yeah.
Um, and it was already deemed like, car of the year via Impala's magazine,
Mhm.
and to see Lowrider actually appreciate the car and place it where it needed to be was
Yeah.
really cool because that car is, at first glance, if you don't know what you're looking at, it just looks like a really, really well built lowrider. But when you
Yeah.
actually start breaking it down panel by panel, part by part, eye by eye, like it's a really well detailed custom car. Like it
Yeah.
is very beautifully built.
They've been showing that car pretty much all across the country, right? I
Yeah,
mean, the last
I
couple
think it
years.
won a key. It won a key at Rick Ross.
Did it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's been Atlanta. It's been to it was in Tampa, wasn't it?
Yeah, I believe. Yeah, it was in Tampa too. It was in San Antonio with us. It was in Tampa with us. I can't remember if it was in Dallas. No, it wasn't in Dallas with us. Um, yeah, no, that car's been all across the country. So to see it get the recognition that it deserves, and then at the same time that magazine has come out, like I said, you guys got to go pre-order that because I guarantee you he's gonna sell out and they're gonna be gone. I will be offering those posters, the 18 by 24s, as soon as I get time. I'm gonna put them on live, sell them to y'all signed. And yeah, just really because there was a lot of you guys asking for them, so I was able to save some. But
Well,
go get your hard copy of the Impala's magazine issue for sure.
definitely. And when you're out there and you're signing stuff and you meet a lot of people, is it the same fans? Are you meeting? Or is there other people telling you they came from different places that you that like out of state or even out of the country? I mean, how is that interaction when you're sitting there and you're talking to people and they're getting these posters from you?
This year I felt insanely blessed. Like, of course, there was some people from all different countries.
Mm.
I met some lowriders from England. There
Oh,
was lowriders from Japan. There's lowriders from overseas, Australia. Like it was really cool to see the diverse, what is the word that I'm looking for? Diversity. My brain's just not braining.
Diversity. What you mean?
Diversification. There you
Oh,
go. The diversification in the amount of people that were out there in the different clubs and cars and cultures, and it
mm,
was really cool. But this year, like at the Hopaholics booth, it was cool to see like a lot of my, OG fans, the ones that show
mm,
up and give me love every year. But this year I got a lot of females, which I felt blessed because I don't have a huge female following. I've got a really large male following. And my only goal is to inspire all of you to really, hit the ground running and follow your dreams. If I can do it, you can do it. If you want to
yeah,
build a car, I can help you. So to see that many females out there building their own dreams, building their own thing, and to like be like, oh my God, I love you. Like, I really appreciate that because like I said, it's just been a very masculine presence over the years. And for it to change in the last year over to female recognition, I'm very, very, very grateful.
yeah. And then I mean, absolutely. And then just for the people that are not always that familiar, because we can only expect everybody to know who you are or I am or whatever. But if you're listening to
Hmm.
this and you're not familiar with Candy, she does own Lowriders. She currently, you're on your bike all the time, but
Yeah.
it's just she's been in the lowrider community. She's been out there, has her own cars, multiple different styles of cars, and
Yeah.
very knowledgeable. You've came out of the ranks of what part sales and stuff like that for like when you were working before.
Yeah, I mean, I
Mm,
still consider myself a GM restoration car parts expert from
mm,
1955 to 1988. So that's what I specialize in. That's what I've always done, and that's what I love to do. Low riding is definitely my foundation. I
mm,
just feel like in the past 2 years, definitely in the last year, I felt the need to just diversify my platform in the fact that I appreciate every single vehicle,
mm,
every different kind, and like I'm a huge fan of having a car for every day of the week or a car serves a purpose. So
yeah,
whatever that, whether it's a car, a truck, a lowrider, a fast car, a resto mod, they're all different for their own reasons.
yeah,
So a lot of that, taking the low riding foundation I have, which is super detail oriented, super, high end style builds, and then bringing them into other platforms. I'm really grateful for that. But I definitely caught the bike bug in the last
yeah,
few years. And I don't think I'm ever going to get off of it. There's just a freedom that I get from riding that I don't get from anything else.
definitely.
And then of course, I need to build something with an LT4 swap right now so I can slide in the pit because
Mm,
not I don't do just hot pits anymore. I do burnout pits.
oh, oh. Well, I mean, with that being, so you really didn't get much to walk around, right? It was all business at the show.
And even when I did walk around, I kept getting stopped. So once again, I don't really get a huge enjoyment factor out of it. I
Mm,
should have spent more of Thursday in there at setup,
yeah,
enjoying the cars. But like I said, I was just tired and I was like, I want to look 100% on Saturday and I don't want to, drain myself because I knew I had like the Saturday being Frank's goes all night. And then I
yeah,
knew I had Sunday at Torres. So I already knew ahead of time what I was getting into. And I wanted to bring my 100%.
absolutely. So let's go into being arriving at Frank's. Did it start on
Ooh,
time? That's always the question.
ooh. Once again, some politics. But the starting on, like, I'm not even exaggerating. Frank caused a traffic jam. Okay. Like, I had to, like, tell the Uber to stop the car and let me the heck out because I will just walk to this gate, So it got to the point where, like, I turned the corner at the block. It was bumper to bumper for a
Yeah,
minute. Like, it was cars after cars after cars. Walking into Frank, security was tight, and then obviously all the guys were like, she's good, she's good, she's good. And then, I had no issues, but there was a lineup to get in too. Like, I was really like just like people lineup, not just a
yeah,
car lineup. So there was that going on. There was the car lineup, and then once you're actually in, he had a new venue this year. It was in front of the Luxor, and it was super badass because obviously you have the pyramid right there.
yeah,
You've got the whole Vegas background, the backdrop, and it was packed. Like the quality of cars out there, like I mean, it made the actual indoor show like take it right outside to the outdoor show.
yeah.
Then like you walking around, it was just so many people. It was amazing. Like fully sold out of merch. Like it was a
Yeah,
crazy turnout. We finished the last bumper check. I think it was like, don't quote me on this. It was either 3:30 a.m. or 2:30 a.m. So that
that
was our
that late last year. I remember walking away from that at 3 something in the morning.
I
So
know Sed told me on an interview we had 111 cars, but the end number I believe was 133 cars. So there
wow.
was 133 hoppers. The pit there isn't as big as what we did at Torres, so you're not doing like an 8 car check at the same time is a little bit more squished.
Yeah.
So a lot of them were twos and fours. So
Mhm.
takes a little bit longer when you're doing that. When you're doing 8 cars at once, obviously it's a lot faster,
Yeah.
but it was yeah, it was honestly it was a vibe. It was you had to be there. You had to be there to experience it. And I've done it many years before and being in that other parking lot, but this was I really enjoyed the new venue with the new
Yeah.
backdrop.
Yeah, I saw the footage. I'm like, oh, he changed the venue, and it just being surrounded by with the Luxor in the background and everything like that. I was like, wow, yeah, that looks dope.
And I think the accessibility was better than the year prior too. Like I
Mm.
said, like it was a lot more organized when I pulled up. Yes, there was a traffic jam, but they had their car lineup, they had
Yeah,
their, pedestrian lineup, then they had, you walk in, they had the food vendors, they had all the vendors set up and cars and cars and cars and cars, and the hop was going. So the
yeah,
hop was supposed to start at 7 and it was pushed back till 8 p.m. And I have a feeling that had something to do with our Hopaholics hop being
mhm,
at 6 p.m. So they pushed it that little bit. And I think I pulled up right at like 8:30. Like I was rushed. Like
yeah.
so I was in the pit for the rest of the night and it was a great time. Like it was very, very active, lots of, action.
Definitely. And then like always I'll ask, how was the whole the media, they swarm in the cars, all the people standing up in the way. Do they still have that issue? People just find their way into the pit and don't leave.
I will definitely say this was the most uncontrolled amount of people in a pit I
Wow.
have seen in a while. Um, I think it was just overwhelming the number of cars. And then
Mhm.
when you have, 3, 4 cars going at once, of course you get all of those people and
Yeah.
then their crew and then their camera guys. They all want to be in there. But there was definitely a lot of people trying to sneak in and just pull up and whatever else. So I think China had, he was extra reinforcing, but there's so much going on and there was so many people and there was so many cars in and out and then, people just lingering. So yeah, it made it hard for some of the people to see. It made it hard to make capture some of the content for sure, but it's part of the game.
Yeah, it is. It gets wild. I mean, it's almost like at the end of the day, it's like a free for all. And if you have the patience to sit there and watch it, as a spectator,
Yeah.
all day long, you're looking for the action, you're looking for the breakdowns and the blowouts and and the trash talking and everything else like that. When you're in the pit, and I know you always have made it a point to be in these hot pits and stuff, and it's like, what are you looking for after a long day like that? Like after a long day, how like I guarantee you, I know your legs got to be like jello. Like I mean, like part of your
Yeah, my feet actually I thought they were gonna fall off the next day. Like I still am like regaining full feeling back in my toes. Like um it's just been like one of those, like it was just a really long weekend. I wore heels all day Saturday. And
mm,
then by the end of Saturday night, I was like, no, I need to wear runners. So I wore sneakers and it was, it was good. But then Sunday came around and I was like, oh man, I want to put shoes on again for Torres in the pit. So for me at the end of the day, it's a lot, but there's just something about the energy in the pit that you're not going to get somewhere else. Like it's just, you don't get it anywhere else. There's something with that back bumper hitting the ground. There's something about just the energy in the air. It's very lit. It's very live. I can
yeah.
get a better high off that than I can get off of anything else. Like it's literally a vibe. Like it is a vibe. So I really look forward to it. It's my favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
And doing it for all these years, I'm just really grateful that I am able to be in the pit and I can look at a car, see how it's moving, know how it's going to move. And if I'm like,
Mm,
I don't really like how that's working right now, I'm going to
yeah.
back away. I'm going to stand over here. And then sure enough, a coil spring shoots out. I can kind of judge that stuff now. But, being an amateur model, you got to be careful. You got to make sure you have a spotter.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think a lot of times a lot of people don't realize that, but I know when you obviously we've done pictures in the pit and so on and so forth, and I always tell people you gotta listen with your ears a lot of
Yeah.
times. And if you're not facing the car, especially the models, the cameraman needs to be focused on what that car is doing. Yes, you're taking pictures, but you also got to make sure that it's not, I've seen it when the car is getting closer and closer to the girl, and everybody's like, get out the way, and and stuff like that. So you have to be knowing where you need to be at, where to stand at. Like I've told my son is starting to do, go with me and do stuff, and he likes the hops too. And I'm just like, you just can't don't line yourself up with them wheels. Like you
Yeah.
have to get off to the side or whatever and stuff.
Like
Yeah.
that 45 degrees by the front wheel, like that's really like where you want to stay
Yeah.
out of if
Do
you
not want to
can.
line up with that wheel, because if anything comes out one way, it's going to come out right out that way, and
Yeah.
and so on and so forth. I think that last year at Torres, they had a hose burst, and I got hit with the hydraulic fluid, and I had to wipe down my camera. My shirt was completely stained. Now I use it for the gym, but like you don't know what's going to happen.
No, you really don't know. And like it's to the point where, like last year we flipped a car at Torres
Yeah,
and we could have flipped one again this year, but it just didn't
I saw
happen.
that. No, so Sunday, Torres Empire. He
Oh
does
yeah,
his.
so we finished Frank's with the bumper check at like 2:30, 3:30 a.m. It was a very long night and I really could not feel my toes by the end of that. But
He's
once
really
again, you're
hot.
so high, you're high off the energy. Like it's literally like you're so lit. It's better than any coffee. It's better than anything. You're just
Oh yeah,
so alive from the people that you're around. You haven't seen some of these people in a long time. You haven't, it's just a vibe. So I was able to wrap that up. I think I was in bed by 4:35 ish
yeah,
ish.
ish.
And then once I finished that, basically, luckily Taurus starts a little bit later. It
Yeah.
doesn't start super early. So I think the show opened, move-in was at 1, show opened at 3. I showed up at exactly 3 o'clock, Junior. Junior, yes, I was there at 3 o'clock, exactly 3 o'clock.
Mhm.
And then I was able to do the show this time because I actually showed up on time. So I walked the show. I did some quick fire interview stuff with some of the people.
Mm.
Met some really cool people. I super blessed. I've seen Motoclay out there. I haven't seen him except for multiple shows out in Texas, mostly bike events. So I
Mm.
saw him out there. I met Beto with the crazy Vikla collection. And then obviously Cisco had his 57 rag out, which I didn't even know he had a 57 rag. So there's just a lot of variety that was cool
Yeah.
because the other thing is with Torres being out at the speedway is the lighting's really cool. Like, yes, it's hot, like between like 3 and 5 p.m. What I mean by hot is it's washed out, people. Washed
Mhm.
out. So, but as soon as that sun starts going down a little bit, like you just get just pictures that you can't capture inside,
Yeah. Yeah.
aspects and angles of a build or a bike or whatever it is, you're not gonna get in the indoor light. And Torres, like you really get the ability to do that and see the vehicles up close in person. Oh, like they had Crypto 9 outside on the tarmac on carpet, and to be able to see because that car shows completely different inside than it does outside. Yes, it
Yeah.
looks one way with all of the artificial lights underneath it, on top of it, beside it. But when you see it under organic light, you start seeing flakes and
Mm.
patterns and things that are just like ghosted in that car. And that
Yeah.
goes for a lot of the bikes out there and a lot of the other things. So it was really cool to actually get there on time and
Yeah.
interview some people and meet some people and move and groove and enjoy myself until the hop started, which is usually at dark, which was
Yeah.
at dark.
Well, I mean that goes with every show. I see people all the time. They're like, this car needs to be out in the sun. This car needs to be out in the sun. Like I know people want to do it because they go indoors, and a lot of the big promoters, they want an all indoor show. But there's a lot of cars that the indoor lighting, no matter what venue, it could be Vegas, it could be Stockton, it could be Dallas. The venues in general, the lighting just does not make those cars shine like the sun.
No, every venue is different.
Mm. Yeah,
No,
so it's just it's just one of the things, being able to see a car indoor, outdoor, and seeing the difference in it. And like I said, the sun brings out all the hidden stuff that they hide in the paint, and this is what all the craftsmanship and stuff like that. I think at the end of the day, the cars are meant to be on the streets, right? I mean, even though they're probably hardly ever touch a street, but they're meant to be out in the sun.
Yeah, I
So
feel like that kind of goes for, models too. They look
yeah.
completely different on screen than they do in real life, right?
I honestly can't. I don't like the indoor lighting. I love taking pictures outside at outside.
Yeah, me
It's
too. I
and
prefer it outside. I'm
sun.
fighting the light all the time, especially now. It was a little bit different when I was 25 with no lines and, things going on in my face. But now inside, you're like, oh, okay, this lighting's not working for me. I actually don't look like that. Like, you actually think these things through. Now you're looking for light. It's the same thing with your car. Like, you want your
Yeah.
car to be lit up well and accent all of its features.
So the hop over there. How many cars did they have at Torres?
I never actually got a number count. I should have asked, but there was a lot. I don't know if it was 100. I think it was, but we were doing one, two, 4 to 8 at a time. Well,
Okay.
like whereas like Frank's we were doing 2 to 4, So I want to say it was upwards of between 75 and 100. Don't quote me on that because I
Yeah.
didn't ask for a head count.
Okay.
But we started out at a decent time as soon as it got dark out, and it was a great time. Like it was a really good time. There's a lot of really high end hoppers, a lot of really big dog hoppers. Like um those dudes from Ohio came out
Yeah.
strong this weekend. Like they came out hard and they
Yeah.
killed it.
Oh yeah.
So I
They
believe
come
Hop
a
Shop
long
in
way,
Hayward. Sorry.
and they come a long way for that hop.
Ohio ain't close.
Yeah. Yeah.
It ain't close. And that little, I keep wanting to call it pocket change because if you remember, Midas had that luxury sport, the baby blue luxury sport that was so quick on it.
Yeah.
They brought out a luxury sport very similar to that car,
Okay.
same color scheme. And it was hitting, it was working just as well, almost as quick. Like it was really crazy. Like I kept tripping out, being like, oh, it's that car. And I'm like, oh, wait, no, no engraving. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was really cool to see them out there with that car. And then, like I believe it was Hop Shop Hayward that took the belt home.
Um,
Um, I
was it
can't
the
even.
green Impala?
Yeah, the 64.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's been working for a minute.
Yeah, and I mean Hop Shop always gets down. They put in a lot
Yeah.
of work and a lot of, hours into these cars, and when they show up, they show out.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, I mean, in general, like I said, some people follow for the hops. Some people went to Vegas just for all the hops, all the stuff in the streets. Man, I seen all the content from under that Las Vegas sign over there by Strat.
I
It
wonder
was
if we're gonna be allowed to do that again.
they probably burned it out. I'm sure that they're gonna, it's gonna be a thing
I
next year.
I may have a video of that when that happened.
Yeah, that was, and me. So me, I'm in the street. When I'm out there,
Yeah.
if I'm cruising and whatever. But one of my pet peeves is stopping the cars for pictures,
Yeah.
middle of the street. I've done it. Don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, when the cars are working and I always said, like, get out of the way of the car. Let the cars do their thing, because
Yeah.
stuff like that, when they got to stop short and they lose control or something breaks, that that's scary. And the thing is as a photographer, you should know your surroundings and understand
Hmm.
that if you want to get the car hopping, don't stand in front of it, because he's gas hopping. It's gonna be really hard for him to stop when it lands on you.
Yeah.
I
100%.
don't know. I just to me, I'm just like, I've been through it a lot, and I've been out there, and I just like, look, if you want to see the action, you want to get action photos, don't stand in front of the cars, don't stop the cars when people are out there like moving and grooving.
Yeah, no, totally. And there was a lot of that. I mean, I was like, is this AI? Like, there's so
Yeah.
many people that took photos underneath that sign and like action shots. And I was like, this can't be real.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Well, that sign's gonna end up being like the Whittier sign for LA.
yes,
And
yes, totally.
and the one thing that when I went, the one time I was at Whittier, I was like, if you guys are take pictures, you got to pull the car forward, because directly under you can't get the actual shot. It's too
Yeah,
close. So I'm over here looking at all the content everybody's doing. I'm like, they need to move in front of it, not just under it. Like, move in
yeah.
front of it and then do your thing. And but they had the car dancers out there and the hoppers, and I
Yeah, Joker, what the heck? You guys didn't even turn up and you guys turned up on the middle of the street. Like,
I mean, and this year, and I did see this year, and like you said, you were at the events and you really didn't get to go do all the other stuff. But I did see that, like, they pretty much had like a setup out there in Fremont Street to cruise, and they were had
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff going down, like
oh
down in Fremont, down everywhere. And I like for me, just too tired. Like I just been like, no, I'm just conserving my energy. So for
yeah,
me to go out and people for that much, I find like now, like I appreciate everybody so much, but after, a really long event and seeing so many people and doing so much, I get
yeah,
really drained. So I
yeah,
need to recharge so I can do it again. And
yeah.
I don't know if that's just wisdom and age.
It's experience. That's what it is. It's
Yeah.
experience. Because
Yeah.
even the local content creators don't even do everything. And but I mean, in general, like this example, last year I was out there, and I didn't hit the streets, but I was at all the events, right? But there was a point when I'm like, should I go somewhere? Should I go see? And you know what? No, I'm going to go to sleep. That's what I'm going to do. You
Yeah,
know what?
totally.
And so, and ultimately I am a one-man band for the most part. And it's like, well, unless I get like a crew, then and only then will I be able to stage people, and then I
Yeah.
don't have to destroy myself. But I do get a kick out of being at the show and then going to the hop and doing all that. But it is very tiring.
Mhm.
You have to like mentally prepare for Vegas. You have to mentally prepare before you even go. Like,
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like if you've got like for me, like going out there, I knew exactly what I had to do. I knew I had to do the booth, the poster signing, content creation, some interviews, show up to Frank's, do that all over again, except for the
yeah,
booth because I was in the pit the whole time, and
mhm.
then do that all over again at Torres. So for me, like without that little bit of liquid courage, I just feel extra don't want to do it now. Like
Yeah.
a lot of people have got the liquid courage in them so they can go, 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 go. And I'm like, just pass me my water.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, for me, it's just like I just crack open another energy drink because that's about as much as because even drinking out there when you're been on your feet and everything, it doesn't do nothing for you. It's
No, it
just
just makes me more dehydrated. And actually, I looked at my photos from last year and then this year, I look completely different and in a good way.
yeah.
Like completely different. I had a lot of compliments and whatever else. And I was like, no, there's no way I look that much different. And then I look back and I was like, oh. Like,
Well, yeah, I mean, like you said, you've been sober, and it changes as a person. It changes your skin. It changes everything. And I hardly ever
this
drink.
is the most value I've gotten out of it,
And yeah,
in my
your
mind, right?
mentality in your mind and your focus, and
Yeah.
for you it's this is something you do, your personality. Now you're a content creator, you do all this stuff, you model, and you fit in all this into what you do, and it's making sure you're in the right places at the right time to to promote what you're doing, and then this being seen out there promotes for your next and your next and your next and your next
Yeah.
gig, everything else you got going on.
And
So
now I'm ready for SEMA.
what's your plan for SEMA? What are you gonna do over there?
So for SEMA, I'm with Auto Metal Direct. I'm going to be moving and grooving with them. Over the last couple of years, they've decided the footprint doesn't work as well for them as it does moving and grooving and creating content for the YouTube channel and the social medias.
Mhm,
So essentially, what we'll do is we'll pick out whatever vehicles that they've sponsored throughout the year. We'll
mhm,
highlight build features on them, create the content around them,
mhm.
and then I just go and interview people. So ideally, like that's where I always wanted my career to go. I wanted to go from model to host, and I didn't know how that was going to happen. I always was like, I'm too scared to talk on camera. You remember, Rick, like
Yeah,
2017, I wouldn't even talk on camera. I was like, what? I hate my voice. I'm not doing that.
you
And
don't
then just
understand how hard it is to get people to talk on camera, and then they
it's
realize,
crazy, like just making it become natural. And in the last year, not this year, but in 2024, I was like, okay, it's my time to pivot. Let's take on some hot rod shows, let's take on some truck shows, etc. And I'm really grateful that I was given some of the opportunities based on my resume.
yeah,
And then this year, it was a total lane change, and I started doing a lot of big wheel culture, big power stuff, a lot of
yeah,
stuff in the South. I spent the majority of my season down in the South, and it was really, really, really awesome. So SEMA, we're planning on really just doing build features and experiencing every dynamic of it. And there's a lot. So you think Super Show weekend's a lot? No, 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 no. That is bring your walking shoes and nothing else. So,
Yeah, you better lay up for a while and just not go anywhere for a
I
couple
have
days before you
so
get.
much editing to do right now. I'm trying, you guys. I'm so behind.
So tell me
I'm
about
trying
this
to
company. Tell me about this company you're gonna be out there for doing. You're doing this content for.
I'm working for Autometal Direct, so we specialize in restoration sheet metal for GM, Mopar. I can't even say just domestic, all domestic, because now we have Galaxy and Fairlane metal. So
Yeah,
a lot of C10, a lot of square body stuff, a lot of Mopar. They came into the business originally from their Mopar metal, like they would repop quarter panels for Chargers and Challengers and stuff like that, and then it turned into really executing the Mopar line. They were
yeah,
known for it. And then they started expanding into the GM line. And I remember selling their car parts back in like, oh my God, this is gonna date me. Like 2012, 2013, I think is when I started selling their products. And they had just brought in like 66.7 Nova, some of the Chevelle stuff. It
yeah,
was still really green. And a
mhm,
lot of the stuff that they were bringing in wasn't their own panels. It was a collaboration, white label collaboration with other
yeah,
brands. And then, as the time went on, they were able to create their own toolings. And now it is literally one of the very, very few brands that is tooled in the US with a US tooling. Yes, it is reproduced offshore, but they're using a US tooling. So the gauge of the sheet metal and the fit and the finish of the product is night and day difference than what you're going to find in an offshore panel. And
nice.
they've expanded the line. Like the trucks are so hot, you can build a full square body from their catalog right now.
Wow.
Yeah,
So,
that's how far it's come along.
and this is after market, or are you guys directly to shops and like I guess you say like even insurance shops and stuff like that that are
Yeah,
doing.
I mean, they have a wholesale division as well as you can purchase at retail. So a lot of times, you get with some of these bigger brands. For example, I'll use Dakota Digital. You cannot buy direct from Dakota Digital, but they'll send you to a reseller. Uh,
Yeah,
Automatic Direct will still deal directly with you personally, as well as the restoration shop or the ICBC shop. ICBC, yeah, wow, insurance shop.
yeah,
Yeah, so like they do both. They do the WD and they do the retail aspect.
nice. So
Yeah.
that's you like you said you guys gonna highlight cars that are out there being sponsored. Are they gonna have uh a booth, or is it just really about the cars that are out there showing at SEMA?
Like I said, the footprint is not what they've decided to do in the last couple of years because they get a better ROI from the moving and grooving. Like
Yeah,
the content creation aspect of it. When you're stuck to a booth as a manufacturer or a vendor, it's one thing if you have the staffing for it, but if you have your main guys that are the face of the company stuck to that booth and they can't go around and see anything, I feel like it actually ends up hurting that company more because especially with SEMA, it ends up being like such a retail, like, even though it's considered a trade conference, it ends up being like the retail trade show because there's just so much volume, and
yeah,
that one individual that you're talking to is going to get moments of their time versus more of an intimate setting where you're already on the schedule to go see that person,
mm,
or an intimate show like PRI, you're going to have a half an hour with that
yeah,
manufacturer or that person, versus SEMA where it's just mass volume.
yeah.
So I think it works better for them, and I think it is starting to work better with other brands, but I mean, I can't really speak on them and their ROI and their numbers. So
Yeah, no, that's fine. But then that's when it goes back to me being a content creator. Everybody's like, "Do you have a booth at the show?" Here, do you not? And this is why I don't prioritize a booth, because I don't have time to be at the booth. And I think I reach more people by actually being out there and talking to people and shaking hands and taking pictures of people and taking pictures of people and video. And when I'm out there walking around, I feel like that's what I'm doing to make my brand bigger. And when
yeah,
I'm
for
at the
sure.
booth, well, yeah, it's nice if I'm selling shirts, but at the end of the day, I'm not there to represent or talk to people. I'm still on the go. And I don't like and I don't want to be there either. I don't want to be at the booth. I want to be moving.
And I mean, I feel you from that aspect because I prefer to be moving and grooving and creating content throughout the
Mm,
show. And there's been a lot of events this year that have allowed me to do that. But
mm,
I've had a lot of feedback being like, hey, I want merch. Hey, I want a poster,
yeah,
whatever it might be. And I can't be walking around with a freaking loop full of posters. Like, that's not
yeah,
going to happen. So I needed a space and a time for
mm,
everybody to come see me. And posting that and allocating that time this year really, really, really helped. And I'm really grateful that everybody did show up that showed up. So
nice. So all week at SEMA, huh?
yeah, and then after that on Saturdays, so I'll be out there all week.
Yeah.
We have multiple after parties Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Wow.
Can't wait. So we've got that. And then Saturday we leave out to Arizona. So we're going straight to Arizona for Dino's Get Down, which is
Okay.
the largest. I'm pretty sure that's the largest truck show in the US. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Like
That's a
we're
two.
talking thousands of trucks.
Yeah, that's a 2-day event, right?
It's a 2-day event and it's a cruising event. So it's straight across from, are we calling it the Cardinal Stadium? No, we're calling it State Farm Stadium
Yeah.
in Glendale. So it's directly where the Arizona Super Show is, across the road in that parking lot. And they have a full cruising ring around the event. It's really cool. Like it's
Okay.
where guys can just cruise their trucks around.
Mm,
So that happens. Then the show's in the middle. Then they've got a great vendor. Honestly, it's just one of the most organized, awesome, cool vibe events I've ever attended, especially being outside. Like, it's just a cool event. Like, there's nothing I can say that I disliked about it.
mm.
All the big brands, all the big builds. If you're not debuting your truck at SEMA, you're debuting it at Dino's. Like, that's well known now.
Well, when I go out there for the Super Show, one thing I did realize all these years, I'm like, they got some badass trucks out there. And
Yeah.
we're not talking about new trucks. We're talking about, your Blazers,
Square
your
bodies are hot right now. If you don't
dude,
have a square body and you're in the truck scene,
mm,
who are you?
but their trucks are badass. Like I'm like, I haven't seen so many of these, restored trucks or trucks that have been, probably original. They're lifted. Some of them got lowrider paint jobs, some of them don't. But I mean, in general, there's a lot of nice trucks out there.
It really is. It's like the OBSs, seeing
Mm,
the come up. I remember selling OBS parts in the last, 5 years ago, and nobody would buy an interior panel because those 90s trucks, they were plastic inside. So a lot of stuff was like
yeah.
breaking and dry and whatever else. And we still couldn't give it away. Like people wouldn't give it away. Like they wouldn't take it. And now it's like to the point where everybody's asking for it. The OBS is the 88 to 98s, the 94 to 8s, so hot, and now everything's available for them whereas they weren't before. Like it's
Mm,
really cool to see how things have like gradually grown into. So if you can't afford a square body, because I remember buying square bodies for $500, you can't buy a square body for $500 anymore. That's not happening. 5,000 maybe on a good day, but now you can go get into an OBS, which is desirable, and still feel like you've got a cool truck.
definitely. So once again, we're goes into all the preparation and everything. Your walking shoes. I'm sure you're gonna have multiple.
Oh, yeah, I might actually go grab some new Air Max 90s. Anybody want to buy me some Air Max 90s?
I think you got enough of those because I never see you in the same ones.
Well, we're limited right now because the rest of my wardrobe is still in Canada.
Wow.
So we're
Yeah.
down to like, I think I have like maybe a dozen pairs here. So that's not
That's
enough.
it.
That's
That's all.
not enough. That's
That's
not
all.
enough. Definitely not. Like we need
I've
three
picked you
dozen.
up from the airport, and the size of her suitcase is ridiculous.
Okay, first of all, guys, it's only 67 pounds. Like, and also, if you see me in my ratchet suitcase, I have a rule because I've broken so many hard shell suitcases and I travel so much. I'm in a plane so much. If the wheels don't break off of it, I'm not retiring it. I'm at the point now where I've got this like I'm looking at it right now, this ratchet light purple suitcase, this hard shell suitcase, but it's a Samsonite and it's still rocking. And this is the one that I've had the longest. They've never lasted me longer than 6 months. I've gotten a year and a half out of this one. I'm like, nope, the wheels are still on it. We're not retiring it. And it
Wow.
only weighs 67 pounds, Rick.
Full when it's full.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
between
no.
65 and 70 for sure.
You had
But
the turquoise one before.
I missed my turquoise one, but once again, the wheels broke off. And then I had like a turquoise. Oh, I can think of like the last five on the top of my head. All the wheels break off. Like,
The
so
the
this
damn
one,
damn
this
thing
one's,
wouldn't fit in my trunk. I had to put it in the back seat. You couldn't pick her up from the airport with other people in the car. There's no room.
oh my gosh, it's not that bad. It's not that bad.
Uh,
I need my things, like if I just went to Puerto Rico with the crew and they all walk into the shuttle and they all got their like Louis duffels and I'm like, I look at the other girl and I'm like,
yeah.
Louis duffel? Like she's like, it's only 3 days. I'm like, all
Mhm.
right, I'm just gonna roll my suitcase past you. Like, I'm the only one with a check because I'm like, I can't not have all my things. Like, it's just from traveling so much.
Yeah, you put it all in one. But so before we end, um, next year, any idea where you're gonna be? Any the lowrider events
I
or
have a lot of things in conversation right now. I don't like to book out my schedule until January. I have some prior commitments that I have to do with some brands that I work with
mm,
that get dibs on first dates. I've got a couple contracts in negotiations right now for multi events. And, until January, I don't want to close, I don't want to open that schedule until they're solidified. And then I can kind of, see where I'm going to end up with everybody else. Because
yeah,
there
okay.
is a lot of events, but if there is something you specifically want me at, I need to know ahead of time because there's just, for example, like Triple Crown of Rotting is the same weekend as Nopi Atlanta right now. So it puts me in a rock and a hard place because I got to decide which one and which one's going to go,
Yeah,
which one's got to give. And I love both events so much for completely different reasons.
yeah,
So yeah, I'm gonna be definitely fighting some dates and trying to figure things out. But if
yeah,
it went anything like it did this year, I think I did a 9 show run from, yeah, it was nine weekends back to back from August, the beginning of August to the end of October,
yeah,
somewhere or to the middle of October. It was 9 shows like back to back to back. And I was like, I was standing there and I could have taken another event and made it 10. And I was standing there, I was like, no, I'm too tired. Like I just did too much. So this year I'm going to be this upcoming year I'm going to be super picky. If you're not in alignment with my long-term goals, I'm probably not going to take the booking. I'm
mm,
not there to model. I'm there to inspire others to follow their dreams, create and build whatever it is that they want to build their dreams and really show them that they can do this too. So I would
yeah,
love to, model full time. I love taking nice photos, etc. But it's just not what I want to do long term. I'd love to help the younger generation that's coming up, learn to model and do those things. But for me, I want to talk cars. I want to talk car parts. I want to talk builds, and I want to be, in the same lane as the builders. And
yeah,
because I am a
absolutely.
builder,
Yeah,
so yeah, we'll see what happens for sure. Like I said, there's some contracts in negotiation right now, and we'll just see where we end up. And I'm very, very blessed and very grateful to have the opportunities that have, fallen in my lap so far.
yeah, right now I've been looking. I want because I'm taking my son with me a couple places now, and I already booked. We booked Arizona. Or that's already done, booked with. But
Nice.
I do want to do the Napi. I want to do the Atlanta this year. I didn't get to go.
We're doing a tour though, so we're gonna have multiple events. They have
Yeah,
multiple dates, multiple locations. They have not
yeah.
been posted yet.
Mhm.
That is definitely one something you need to experience.
Oh, definitely, and I figured that out because I was a fan of it back in the day. You know, I would read about it in the magazines and everything. So, when I found out about it, I was pretty hyped up, but I just couldn't get myself out there this year. But I definitely am going to try to get to one of their events once they put the schedule out. Then I definitely going to make that a priority to get to at least one of them. And
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm like I said, I'm looking forward to next year. Hopefully, we cross paths, and I mean, even if it's not um, a photo opportunity, figure something out, or bring you back on the podcast and do some more of what we do and talk about these events and how they, how we're growing from that, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I'm not saying no to photos because I still love my photos, but I just feel like there's a lot more value in me
Mm,
helping grow other people's knowledge in, the automotive community.
definitely, absolutely, and you do that, and you do well,
Thank you.
So. I hope that the magazine cover also helps with that.
Yeah, guys, you gotta get your poster, get your magazine for sure. I've only got a few of them, so I got a website that I am going to be launching hopefully before I get to SEMA. Hopefully, it's gonna be CandyNChrome.shop.
Okay,
So and then I'll have those on there for sure.
definitely. And then damn it, I just was gonna say something else. Oh, and then the content when people were always asking, like you're saying content, you do put content up on YouTube, so you guys go subscribe
I'm
to.
getting better with it. I'm really frustrated with a lot of the social media platforms, so I'm at the point now where I'm like, I need a platform where I can dump everything on it, whether it be long form, short form, stills, video, all of it. And I'm looking at doing a Patreon. I don't like the Instagram subscriber stuff because it still limits me to short form. It still limits me to I can only post this or this.
Yeah,
Whereas Patreon, I've seen a lot of really large podcast communities grow on it and them offer, their subscribers, direct, like just more of a personal connection. And I'm like, okay, I have thousands and thousands and thousands of hours of content, great content that I haven't even gotten to editing, but I also have nothing monetized. So
yeah,
for me to sit there and edit it, I'm spending hours of my life and then not getting any return. So I'm like, why not do a Patreon and get off the Instagram
yeah,
subscribers? Because, like I said, Instagram really limits to me to what I can and cannot post. And I'm not even saying that from like an OF vibe. I'm saying that from long form to
yeah,
short form to horizontal to
yeah.
not, so I
YouTube,
really want, yeah,
YouTube's got
exactly. YouTube's great, like
the
don't get me
reels.
wrong, but
The reels are
I
2 minutes, but like I said, with the Patreon, you can also offer like consultations and everything else, and like special talks like
yeah, and you're gonna be seeing that from me soon. You're gonna be able to book a coaching call with me. Like I said, CandyNChrome.shop is gonna be live very soon. And then you're gonna have the ability to do that. But I wanted something where I could have more of a personal connection with y'all. I cannot even bring myself to open my DMs some days. I almost have like PTSD from IG. Like it's like
yeah,
like after a show, I have so much content drain, I can't bring myself to even open my camera roll. I
mm,
have mango on me constantly. Clean that out. Did you go through last weekend's show? Because I literally cannot bring myself to even look at it. I'm so drained. So how do I offset that? I would rather have a community with y'all where we're more on a personal level. And I know that my content is loved and owned and it's not just a bunch of haters scrolling my page.
yeah, absolutely. Hey, it works one way or the other, but you got to figure out how to get that, because I know a lot of people can't be on social media all the time, and or making balance all that out. Sometimes you just got to get it out there and leave it alone.
Yeah, no, totally. And I mean, I got lots of content from this weekend that I'm still editing. I'm literally trying to get this edited. And I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I'm not posting it because it's 8:30 p.m. No, I'm just gonna post it. I don't care what time the algorithm picks it up. I'm
Exactly.
gonna get it done and I'm gonna post it. If it's a scheduled picture the next day, that's different. But if it's a video, if I edited it and it's fire, I'm posting it. I
Yeah,
don't care what time it drops.
definitely. Well, I want to thank you once again for coming on and spending
Yeah,
an
thank
hour
you
of
for having
your time
me.
with the with me and the podcast. Like I said, I've been trying to figure out what to do with the podcast. I'm going to be doing a couple little different things next year. I'm going to redecorate my background and everything else, and change the way I sit and
Keep
everything.
going.
But yeah, I just got to keep moving, and
Yeah,
that's the whole thing. So, but once again, I appreciate you coming on and spending time with me and talking about how Vegas went. And
it was
you know,
great.
yeah, I
And
missed out, but we'll figure it out maybe next year. We'll see.
there'll be another one. And we
Yeah,
even have Tampa, which sold out already next year, and
yeah,
North Carolina. Like what? Charlotte, North Carolina. Like
yeah.
we've never there hasn't been a Lowrider show there for years. So
I, was-
I'm
I was like, oh, sorry, but I was like, I want to do Charlotte, but then a week later is New Mexico, and
yeah,
now I
you
gotta
always do that one.
Well, I haven't done it in a while, but I want to take my son. But I'm like debating now. Well, maybe I should just go to Charlotte, because I think, I don't know. We'll figure it out. If I could do both, I will. But at the end of the
Yeah,
day,
for sure.
I'm always trying to. I got to balance it out and pick one or the other. But I might not even. Maybe I have to skip Tampa and go to Charlotte and stuff like that. But I kind of want to go to Tampa. So
All
uh,
right. Well, keep me posted. I will definitely be at both of those. So you guys can see me everywhere from coast to coast next year.
Right. And then yeah, and then I'll put some links to her YouTube and everything under this information. If you're watching on YouTube, it'll be in the info section. If you're listening online to the podcast, I will you'll be able to search her, and she's at CandyNChrome on Instagram, and you can pretty much Google her and you'll find her on any other social media platform. So
Yeah.
thank you. And
Awesome. You're welcome. Thank you for having me, you guys. And thank you, everybody that came out to Las Vegas this weekend and showed love. I really appreciate you guys. And I'll see you in 2026.
there you go. All right.
Pinches Lowriders.